In this furnace, aluminium scraps are melted down at 700 degrees Celsius. It takes hours. Then tons of the silver-shining liquid metal flow down long troughs into molds. They cool down and become enormous aluminium bars. The furnaces are gas-powered, and the price of natural gas has risen sharply since the beginning of the Iran war. And that's now a problem for manufacturers in Germany and Europe. In addition to high energy prices, they also face rising costs for climate protection levies, such as CO2 emission certificates. This is clearly a competitive disadvantage in the global market. Our electricity prices are about twice as high as other regions in the world. Our gas prices are also twice as high, and in some cases still significantly higher even after the crisis. It's a disadvantage for energy-intensive industries that cannot be easily compensated. Novelis aluminium recycling plant in eastern Germany is the largest in Europe and the second largest worldwide. 400,000 tons of aluminium scrap are melted down here each year. Despite the high energy cost, recycling is still significantly cheaper than producing new primary aluminium from bauxite ore. Using scrap, we use 95% less energy and produce 95% fewer emissions than using aluminium bauxite. Without a sufficient supply of old beverage cans or aluminium car parts, producing aluminium would require roughly 20 times more energy, including expensive natural gas. China, as well as some other countries in Asia and Africa, have now restricted the export of aluminium scrap. The EU is considering doing so. Angelika El-Noshukati of the German Aluminium Association is worried. Currently, there's a lot of scrap aluminium that flows out of Europe. We're talking about 1.3 million tons a year that we could actually use in the recycling process. We want to ensure that this important raw material remains in Europe. This white-yellow powder is also in short supply since the beginning of the war. It's nitrogen fertilizer for agriculture. The most important raw material for fertilizer production is natural gas. The Piesteritz nitrogen plant is the largest producer in Germany. 4 million tons of fertilizer, as well as basic chemicals such as ammonia and nitric acid, are produced here annually. Without this fertilizer, modern agriculture would be impossible. High gas prices and CO2 taxes have long been causing problems for the CEO. Last year, he was even forced to temporarily reduce production. He asked that politicians ensure the production of essential basic chemicals in Europe. We're seeing that in China and India, for example. They're doing that. Also Russia. They have imposed an export ban on fertilizers to maintain their own food supply. And for my own resilience, for my own food security, I urgently need a regional supply chain here locally. The growing push for curbing imports goes beyond fertilizers and aluminium, touching other resources where Europe is dependent on international supply chains.